mean God, the creator of heaven and the universe. Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is God.
And above all else, we know this in America. We don't worship government, we worship God.
You wrote that she deserved it. Well, if these are your values, that women in America and Europe deserve to be raped because of a dress code, are these the values you're teaching your children?
I teach him the values from Quran and these values from our family.
You brought with you your archaic value system and your commitment to religion over democracy and over anything else, including the rule of law.
Is it not working? Why is my camera not showing? That's why. There we go. We're looking good. So if you take blinkers off. Dude, I got a 10-minute restriction on this live because I had some slop playing in the pre-stream. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to wait like 5-ish minutes probably until I get back up. 5-ish minutes probably until I get back. We're aiming for 500, bro. Do I hear the echo? Not really. Is there an echo? Oh. If there's an echo, let me know. You get off the game and take a shower. Bro, what are you talking about? I'm trying to look good here. It's one of my better looking shirts. What's up, Sin? Yo, I haven't seen you in a minute. Brother, come up here. Goodness. I don't know why I'm coughing so much recently. Privation theory? What's that? I'm too low tier. I don't know what privation theory is. I'm just waiting for the people to start coming in before we actually start, because right now can't really debate anyone. No, Sin, you gotta tell me what privation theory is. Debate me, bro. Then raise your hand, woman. Debate me this, debate me that. Raise your hand. I think it's in our group chat. It probably is. Raise your hand, Raya. Raise it. Talking all that schmack. Dude, where are the people? It's because I got the live stream restricted for like 10 minutes first. That's why. We gotta share the stream. Everyone share it. We got coconut Dr. Pepper, bro. What mic do I use? I used to use Blue Snowball. Here, let me grab it, but I recently upgraded, if you can see there. It's a HyperX now. I got it for real cheap. I got it on clearance. It's not bad. Alright, yeah, this is the old mic. Looks kind of goofy, but this is iconic, bro. Iconic mic. It's pretty good. I mean, we got a few people joining now. Got Janet, Slavic Doll. Yeah, we're getting some people in now. Raise your hand, everyone. Let's get some people in here. Here, I'm gonna make you a mod, Sin. Alright, I see someone finally raised their hand. Okay. 1 second, I'll get you up here. Oh, they raised their hand and left. Yeah, wise dodge, buddy. Yeah, right, tell them to hurry. I have a AM8. I don't know how to use it. If you'd like it or not. I'm not actually sure what that is. You're gonna have to like send me a link on Amazon, or I'll have to look up it later. What's to your ideology? Probably like Christian nationalism. Liberal or MAGA, neither, buddy, neither. Third position, buddy. Fascist right now. I'm not fascist. No. I'll send the Walmart link in Discord. You're a fascist? I respect it. I wouldn't consider myself one, but yeah, I know some very competent fascists, but it's not really my thing. If anyone wants to come up, just raise your hand. Yes, I got the link. Well, that looks nice. It's an XLR. Ooh. There we go. Oh, shit. I'm upside down now. Okay. Looks like we're better now. How's my hair looking, chat? Yeah, anyone wanting to debate, just raise your hand. Yeah, where'd Raya go? Is Raya still here with us? Oh, where's my homie, bro? He's supposed to be joining up. Dude, we had like 50 people like last time like that. Is it the time of day? No, they did come out for me. They came out for me a few times actually. I had like 50 people in one, like 70 people in another. I was doing numbers. The people love me, Lex, bro. You gotta get up here. What are you doing down there in the audience? Raise your hand. Raise it. No, TikTok didn't restrict my live. You just need the momentum to get going. Like, on everything, we had a few people join. They left quite quickly because there's no one watching. We just need someone to get up here, start talking. That's it. So I'm trying to get, you know, other people. Yeah, we do need Riot to join up. I don't know what she's doing. Like, girl, what are you doing? Maybe if I go over here. Yeah, thank you, Maddie. Thank you. W Maddie. True patriot. Quite frankly, true patriot. We appreciate it, Maddie. You know, gonna get to that goal soon. Where's Rye, bro? Where's Jay as well? He said he would join up. This guy's PMO. Sin, do you want up? That's fair. How do you feel about the topic of personhoods with abortions? I feel like when we're talking about personhood, it's kind of an idea that doesn't really have much merit, because for the simple fact, let's suppose that personhood is something we can substantiate, right? Why would that have any sort of moral determination whether if we should kill this thing or not, right? Because when it comes down to it, we have to grant that there are a lot of human beings that do not really exhibit personhood features, like newborn babies. They can't really rationalize like us. They can't really think for themselves that much. They don't really have any self-preservation mechanisms yet. So we really have to bite the bullet on those things. So, I mean, I don't necessarily see it as something we can substantiate. So I don't really see why we even care to mention it. But even if we do grant it, it's still not really a bullet in the pro-life argument. Yeah, if anyone wants up, though, just raise your hand. Well, if Raya doesn't come, like, raise her hand, I'm gonna get upset. Yeah, W Wolfgang. We appreciate that. Thanks for the follow. I use it to justify why human life is valued because we have the ability to do so. I mean, yeah, I think personhood, one could make the argument that we will get personhood as a reason why we ought to value humans, but I think we shouldn't necessarily ought to value the personhood part of being a human. We ought to value the human being part, because the human being part is the foundation. It's the biology. You can have human beings without personhood, but you can't have personhood without human beings, which is why if we flip it the other way around, where we value one over the other, we tend to get to the absurd reality where those who are, let's say, in a coma, who don't necessarily exhibit all of the requirements, would be discriminated against. What I usually use is the virtue of being human, which, I mean, when you get more philosophical, there are some grounding things that you have to do with it, but I think overall it's more of a bulletproof point. But it's quite similar to the idea that the virtue of being human comes from the future it will have. It's not future like ours, but it's similar, where we are valuing something that will become. Dark XX, can you explain why you think abortion is murder? Well, I mean, if you want, you can raise your hand and we can have a discussion on it. Not necessarily a debate, but, if you want to just have a good faith conversation about it. Raya is back. Come on, Raya. Every time I get asked, why should I grant that being a future? Well, the thing is, it's one thing, like, we gotta separate the idea that this thing is a potential life, because when we kind of walk in with that assumption that this is not a current life but a potential life, then you get led to the question, okay, well, why should I care about a potential life, right? The pro-life view is that it begins at conception, right? So we are preserving an actual current life, right? And what gives that current life value is that it's a part of a species that is capable of all these great things, right? So we're not valuing the capability, we're valuing the membership. Have a good stream. No, thank you, some random guy. Appreciate it. Yeah, unborn lives matter. Indeed. James is here. W. James. Stole my name. I agree with your statement, by the way. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. W. James, that's what I'm saying. W. James. You know, I mean, the name, it's a pretty cool name, I guess. You, as a man, can have an opinion, but not the final say. Okay. I mean, all right. Great statement, I guess. I believe that abortion is good, as sometimes it is better for the child. I would disagree when you say it's better for the child. I don't know how you could say taking the life away is better than letting it live. You know, I really wonder with these my body, my choice people, this crowd. This is a crowd that over the pandemic was very adamant about forced immunization, forced vaccines. You do not come to work unless you get this vaccination. You should not be allowed to enter a grocery store unless you wear a face mask. And now I never had a problem with wearing a face mask. I'm not vaccinated against COVID, but these are the same people that are like, well, it's my body, my choice. I should have the final say and the final autonomy over my body until it comes to something like vaccinations. It's just interesting, right?
Hello.
What's up, Mr. Smith? How are you?
Hello, man. I'm doing pretty good. I really can't see the last thing that it says. I just wanted to know, are you against it or with it?
I'm
Okay,
against
yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah, I'm against it too. Fully or partially?
I would say I have some exceptions, like life of the mother, right? I think that's very important. When it comes to other hard cases, there's a conversation to be had.
hmm So I wanted to know, since I'm still trying to understand abortion a little bit more,
Yeah.
what would you say if for the ones that are almost kind of not even treatable? So the ones that are very risky and the ones that are not treatable, that cannot treat a fetus or let a fetus live at all.
So let me try to understand what you're asking. Are you saying that what about the instance where a fetus has, let's say, a life-threatening illness and the chances of it surviving pregnancy are very low?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what we should do is we should do the same thing we do in all the other situations where a fetus might pose a threat or, has an illness, where we try to separate it from the mother at the earliest time we can, where it's both safe for the child and the mother, and try to treat it as a patient, right? If this child is born with like anencephalia, for example, we should treat it the same way we would treat a patient in a coma. Anencephaly is an illness where the brain isn't really developed, perfectly. There's some issues that has with cognitive function. It's basically born in a coma, permanent one. But I would have to ask you, right? Given that situation, would you think it is moral for the doctor to come in with a gun and directly end the life of that child, or would you rather say that it would be more moral to let the child reach its natural death, from the illness?
Reach its natural death from the illness.
Yeah, we would want to ease it towards its natural death. We wouldn't want to come in and have someone directly end the life, because that's the big difference. I believe it is wrong to directly end the lives, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Well, okay, man. Yeah, thank you very much. I just wanted to. I didn't. It was like It was kind of hard to really find an answer for that. And yeah, thanks, bro. I just wanted to.
Of course.
Find an answer for that. You have a great day.
You too, man. Have a great day. That's just pulling the plug. Yeah, well, pulling the plug is an indirect killing. I don't necessarily like. There is reasons why it would be permissible to pull the plug, but not permissible to directly kill someone. There's a difference. Hello, Z. How are you?
I'm fine.
You sound quite tired.
No, I just woke up because I was about to go to work in like an hour or two, but
Yeah.
it's fine. So what's the obligation for a woman to sustain pregnancy?
I would say from the responsibility comes from the obligation that they basically put upon themselves when getting pregnant.
They put upon themselves for getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Responsibility is like subjective in of itself. We can't apply subjective ethics on like society because like everybody's mind is different.
Subjective ethics.
That would be subjective. Because like I would say it's very responsible for somebody to realize like, hey, I can't take care of a child, right? And bringing a child in this world would not be the best thing for me at this moment. And putting a child through some type of like negative impact in our society.
Ethics. My ethics are held in objective morality.
Objective morality. Morality in and of itself is subjective.
No, it's not. Can you substantiate that?
Yeah. So morality is based upon a human mind.
Yeah.
Does morality exist without the human mind?
No, but does abstract concepts that we all agree
upon so that makes
exist?
It subjective.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because abstract concepts that we all agree upon can exist, mind, dependently, exclusively. Like math, for example.
Yeah, if it's mind dependent, it's subjective. That's no argument there.
Is math subjective?
Is math subjective? Math is just a language that we created to understand like things around the universe.
Okay.
So math is just a language.
So let me ask you this: can you point to like a number anywhere? Can you point to these abstract concepts that we all kind of agree upon?
Can we point to these things? Yeah, we just point to these things to understand the objects in the universe. That's just a language. That's equivalent to English. When we point to
these things, when I hold up like 2 water bottles here, right? It's not the number 2, right? It is just
but the concept of the number 2 came from the human brain, which is subjective.
But does that mean math is now subjective?
Would this concept exist without humans? No.
Okay, so
would this concept exist without human mind? No, it's mind dependent.
So is math subjective?
Is math subjective? The terminology of these objects existing, the terminology of 2 + 2, the thoughts of this creating these things? Yes, it depends on human mind.
Okay.
Will these 2 objects still exist without a human? Yes. However, the concept of the saying, "Oh, these are 2 items," yeah, that's a human brain grasping that concept. That's mind dependence.
Do abstract objects exist?
Do abstract objects exist? Yes, they do exist outside the human brain. However, right, us counting them and understanding that there's 2 objects in a room, that's a brain doing that. That's a subjective claim.
Oh, okay. So
that's just a language, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's presuppose there is a God. Would there be objective, abstract, and moral ideas?
Would there be, if there's a God, yeah, then yes, that would be outside the human brain. Yeah. It would be like
Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm presupposing a God.
Okay.
So I hold subjective morality. So if there are people who hold to some sort of deity, then that would just disprove the claim that it is a fact, it is certain that morality is subjective.
Right. So unless these individuals can prove some type of existence of this deity or give some type of objective facts that this deity exists, right, then we can go that route. But however, unless they actually also talk directly to this deity and prove the moral ethics that they get from this deity is objective fact, I would say we can't apply that either in our society.
Okay. So let's say this. Let's say this deity is, proven, it is known. What do you think would happen if someone broke that moral law? What do you think the deity would do? If
this deity is proven and is known, then whatever the deity says, it depends on the individual.
Yep. No, but like what I'm asking is like, what would the punishment be for someone who breaks this moral law?
If somebody breaks this moral law, it depends on. It depends on what the rules of the deity are, because like not all religions have the same type of rules
Well,
and concepts. Like not
let's do
all.
classical theism. Let's hold to like something that like Christianity. It's the most popular religion. It's the one I hold to. So, what do you think the rules would be when
Okay,
one
sure.
violates the moral law?
If we're using some type of Abrahamic religion, then it would be like hell would be the answer, right? So
Yeah.
like I don't
Okay,
know.
so what you're saying is that the enforcement doesn't happen as soon as the moral law is broken, correct?
No, not necessary.
Okay.
No.
Okay, and free will gives us the ability to break that moral law, correct?
Do free will gives us the ability to break that moral? Yeah. I would say not necessarily, because if it's like a justification for the committed action, I don't think a deity should hold you accountable for that. That makes it
No.
something morally
I'm
permissible.
questioning our free will, right? Gives us the ability to look at the moral law, like thou shalt not murder, and go ahead and commit a murder, right? Because we have free will,
Right,
correct?
but you can't just commit an action like taking of life and draw the negative conclusion that it's murder automatically. You would have to say, okay, so what's the justification of the action, right? And then see if the use
Okay, well,
logical
maybe that one
conclusion.
has a bit more nuance, but if we look in the Bible, right, and we look at church teaching and all, and we see something that is clear as day, something without any nuance, like a man shall not, be a homosexual and engage in, intercourse
I
with
mean,
another
sure,
man.
that would be fine for like Christian ethics, and I would say that's bounded. If you believe in that stuff, you're
Okay, but
bounded
free
to that,
will
right?
gives us
But
the
like that's
ability to
irrelevant to
violate
this
that, correct?
conversation.
No, free will gives us the ability to violate that moral law, correct?
I mean, yes, it could possibly, yes. It depends on like, it depends if you believe in medical science or not, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is all a belief factor. This is still
Well, no, no,
dependent
no, no.
upon the human
If this
brain.
religion is true, people hold to this religion because it is proven God, came down and he said, okay, here's, the moral law. He announces it to everyone. Everyone believes it, but we still have free will
Hmm.
to violate it, right?
Right, right,
Correct?
right, right. So
That
like
free will
this,
gives
if
us the
this
ability
religion
to
is
violate.
true, that's fine, right? But there's no proof for us to do that. So humanity can't function that way. That would be like a disutility to society to
No, I'm
force
asking,
upon laws that we can't even prove is true.
brother, I'm asking, does free will give us the ability to violate moral law?
Yes, I literally answered this
Okay,
question like
that's
multiple
what I
times.
was
So like,
asking. I just needed a yes or no. Okay, so for the fact that we have the ability to violate moral law is not enforced in the moment it is broken, but it punished later, right? And moral law
yes,
is not something we can necessarily point to. Why is the possibility that if there is a God, that we would not already have some sort of objective moral law that we do have now?
okay. So again, right? Again, right? It's equivalent to all humans. Even humans' brains do the same concept, right? Because they have to draw the conclusion that a wrong may occur before we can just jump to the conclusion, jump to conclusions, right? Like we can't presuppose a wrong may occur off of like no reasoning. Like that's like blaming somebody for like a murder, but like they were defending themselves, right? Like why would you do that? Like if there's
Well, murder
justification for
by
the action,
definition would
we
be
can't just draw the conclusion.
unjustified or not legal. And we don't interpret, like, Christians, for example, they don't interpret scripture by their own. They have central authorities like the Catholic
Right.
Church.
So like you would have to prove the burden of proof was on the Christians then. Like if they want to apply Christian ethics to the world, right? They're going to have to prove that God exists, and they would have to prove that they talk to this individual and the ethics that this individual is providing is true within the world. They would have to prove that. And the burden of proof is on you. That's why society doesn't
Why is the
apply
burden of proof on
Christian
us?
ethics to law.
Why is the burden of proof on
Because
us?
you guys are making the positive claim.
Yeah, but why? Okay, yeah, we're making a positive claim, but the
Okay,
burden. Okay, but the burden of proof doesn't always have to be on the person who makes a positive claim.
That's how positive claims work.
No.
If I'm going to say,
Give me a reason why. Give me a reason why the burden of proof couldn't be on the person who makes a negative claim. Is there?
okay, because it's a negative claim. I'm not saying that this is absolutely
Okay, but
true.
you're saying.
But you're saying this is
Okay,
absolutely
brother, listen. This is what you're saying. You're saying the burden of proof is on the person who makes a positive claim because they made the
true.
positive
Right.
claim. I'm asking, why is the positive claim the person that always has to have the burden of proof?
Yeah, because they're saying that this is an absolute truth, right? So if you're going to say
And
this
if I
is an
said this is
absolute
an
truth,
absolute false, the burden of proof wouldn't be on me.
So if this is no, when it comes down to a negative claim, I'm not saying claiming that this is true or false. This is could be a possibility, right? I'm not drawing a conclusion, not with a negative claim now.
Okay. I don't necessarily see how the burden of proof would necessarily be on me, though. I would say when we make the claim atheism is true or there is a God, right?
Yeah,
Those
that's
both,
a positive claim.
yeah. And the thing is, I don't think atheism doesn't, not only does it not say, actually, excuse me, I'm messing up my words here. It says there is no God for certain, right? It's not an agnostic, right? An agnostic would say we don't know or we can't know, right? So saying it is for certain that there is no God, that certainty.
That's a positive claim.
Yeah.
That's
So why
drawing a
would it?
conclusion.
So
you
the
have to
atheist has the
substantiate
same
the
burden as the
conclusion.
Christian.
Yes, you would have to substantiate the conclusion.
Okay. So why can't it be for the Christians and the atheists, their own ideology be the default position for them?
Sure, yeah, that's fine. It could be the default position, but you got to have to substantiate the claim. You would have to make an argument of that truth.
You can make the claim, right?
Yes.
But you don't have to operate with the premises. Do you believe that there are people who believe in God that can give you perfect theological arguments for it?
Do I believe that there's people? Yes, I would believe that.
Okay,
so.
and do you
That's
think those
fine.
people? Okay, and do you think those people live by what they believe in?
Do I believe that's the whole point of a belief system, brother?
Yeah. Well, no. What I'm saying
Yes.
is that no, I understand what you're saying. What I'm getting at here is that you have people who can't necessarily defend their faith. They can't necessarily give you the best arguments for their belief system.
Understandable.
Right? Now, those people don't necessarily need to justify their belief system, right? If they have this sort of conviction and they're able to follow the rules of it. So therefore, they don't need to
but, when it comes
substantiate
down
any
to-
sort. Huh?
When it comes out to society, right, we have this thing called apply ethics. So we're going to hold this true to all of society and everyone, right? We're going to have to hold this belief system true. So you would have to give a actual logical sound argument on why this is true. This is going to have to stay logically consistent, which most religions do not do that because it's a belief in some type of deity.
Not necessarily. I mean, we see theocracies working, right? We you look at Rome, for example. You look at the Islamic countries out there. They don't need to give an argument for anything. Their argument is the sword, right? So, I mean,
that's just enforcement. That's not. That's enforcing people.
Is that not what law is? It's enforcement
through unalivement.
What?
Just because you can commit an immoral action, right? That doesn't affect morality. Yes, humans have the ability to commit a moral action. That doesn't make them morally justified or not. You know that, right? Like humans can commit actions all the time. They have free will. That doesn't mean the action that you're committing is morally justified or not. Just because you force somebody to believe what you believe, right? That doesn't make what you believe true.
Do you think that my idea is that we make everyone Christian, or do you think my belief is that I would rather just have Christian ethics reflect in the law?
Yeah, I think your belief is just you'd rather have Christian ethics reflect in the law, and I don't think that would be logically consistent now. Because Christian ethics already contradict themselves all the time.
Okay, man.
Yes, because Christian ethics is based on eyewitness testimony, and eyewitness testimony is not the most reliable situation. Is it correct?
Yeah. So
okay. So
how are you interpreting it? How are you interpreting it?
How am I interpreting it?
Yeah.
I'm not interpreting it any kind of way. I'm saying it's based upon eyewitness testimonies of people from all over the world. From hundreds of thousands of years ago, right? And we don't even hold up true eyewitness testimony in court sometimes, because sometimes eyewitness testimony can be fuzzy or reliable, right? Like, for example, right? Like, we could put a blind man on court and say, oh, he heard this conversation between these two individuals, but if they don't know what the two individuals look like, right? We can't hold that true.
1,000%.
So just to sit here and hold this true would be
how's that a contradiction, though? You said there's a contradiction. You just said that you don't necessarily think that would be inconsistent. Reliable.
Yeah, that would be an unreliable statement.
Yeah, but you didn't say. You said it was a contradiction. Now you're switching.
Yeah, so like
no. You said it was a contradiction at first. Now you say it's unreliable. Is it a contradiction or is it not reliable? Pick one.
It could be both. Like, these two things are not synonymous.
Yeah, but now I'm asking, where's the contradiction?
Okay, like for example, like eyewitness accounts of like the resurrection, right? Like
Mhm.
Paul's eyewitness account versus John's eyewitness account could be different. So like, why would we like hold this
A
true?
1000%. But can you like tell me where it's different? Can you give me the actual source?
Could I give you the actual source with the Christian ethics at this moment? No,
Okay,
not
so
off the
then
top of my
I'm
head.
just
No.
going to deny that there's a contradiction.
Okay, even if you denied the contradiction, right? Like you would have to substantiate, okay, why the Bible we should still hold, right? Why Christian ethics is true, and you would have to make a logical claim. That would still be the burden of proof on you.
So,
Sorry.
like I said, the law doesn't have to follow that. What sort of
Sure.
standard is the law following?
Was
the law following? Is the law not arbitrary?
Yeah, with the law, yeah, that's an appeal to legality. You don't
but
appeal to
I'm
the
trying
law. So
to
the law can
enforce
still be
the law
wrong.
here. I'm trying to enforce the Christian ethics on our law. The question is our law as it stands already arbitrary? And if we decide tomorrow that we're going to enforce Christian ethics, right, with or without your support or not, with or without us proving Christianity to you,
Right.
why would that not be any more or less arbitrary than the law we have now?
It would be, yeah, it would still be arbitrary.
Okay, so there you go.
I would say that's
So-
an appeal to legality, an appeal to authority fallacy.
No,
like,
it's
that doesn't
not.
make moral claim. Yes, it is.
I'm not trying to make a moral claim.
Okay, so why would we sit here and say, okay, what if we just put these on tomorrow, right? That still doesn't make an obligation for a woman or somebody to sustain a pregnancy, right?
Of course, I mean, you can violate the law, but the question is, should we enforce this in the law? When I'm saying like, it should be banned, right? That's not me saying we should like remove the actual like physical individual ability to have such things done. I think we should punish those who do it, but I'm not going
Why?
to like hold your arm and pull you back, away from the
Okay,
abortion.
so what's the obligation for us to do that? Like, there would have to be a justification. So if there is a justification, clearly it's an obligation for them to sustain a pregnancy, right? So if
Wait,
they're going to
repeat that?
sustain, if we're going to force them to sustain a pregnancy or punish them for not sustaining the pregnancy, which is clearly a force of action, right? Why are we doing this? There has to be a why. You can't just do something that's just like irrational.
Yeah, so you want my argument why I believe abortion is wrong, like morally wrong?
I would say like that would be a little bit burst. I would say a woman is not obligated, the obligation negated, because we can remove and exclude others from our body, right? Like, you're not obligated to use your body to sustain the life of another individual. That negates any type of obligation because the fetus is using your body to sustain its life.
Correct.
Right.
I would say it would be wrong for someone to say, okay, you are now going to hook up to me and I'm going to use your body, right? But
Right.
if
So
I
if you
already,
believe
but
that,
here's
so why
here's
is
the
this
difference. Here's the difference between a pregnancy and that. If I went up to you, right, and I signed some sort of paper, some sort of obligation saying, okay, you're going to be using my body or whatever, and you sign off on it, and everything's all good. And then tomorrow,
that's what you
decide,
think.
hey, I don't want this anymore, right?
Right. Well, yeah, you're allowed to change your mind.
Hold on.
Yeah, you can redact consent.
Oh no,
sir.
the thing is the redaction. I think a lot of even pro-choicers would have to bite their tongue when they say that when redacting, I don't think it would be okay to go ahead and directly murder in the case of us wanting to redact.
Murder. Like, that's like, for example, I'm okay. I agreed at one point to give my blood to this individual, but this individual needs my blood to survive, right?
And
so I
then you take
continue
the
to
blood
give my
back
blood, and I
because,
continue to give
you
my
don't
blood,
want it
and I
anymore.
just stop giving my blood, right? I'm not obligated to continue to give my blood. I can redact my consent.
But hold on,
Consent
you're
is
kind of
redactable.
misrepresenting what an abortion is, right? Abortion is not just unplugging, right? This is a direct.
I didn't say it's
killing.
unplugging. That's like cutting off nutrients for the pill literally cuts off nutrients, causing the fetus to unalive. That's me cutting off a nutrients for the survival of another individual. That's literally direct analogous.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: in a case where we have a mother with her born child, and she locks that child outside of her house during a snowstorm, technically she's not directly killing, but we would still say that would probably be a form of murder, correct?
I would say, due to the fact that this is a sentient
Okay,
cognitive being,
so it's the sentience
and the
part, it's
substantial
sentience,
harm. I
right?
would say due to the substantial harm to the situation, right?
It's
because
the sentient part. Can you substantiate sentience for me? Can you prove
Yeah,
that people are sentient, consciousness
Yeah, I would
exists.
say
Can you prove these things?
we can observe people's positive and negative reactions within society, which these positive and negative reactions are clearly some type of first person subjective experience that
Yeah, but that
individual
wouldn't
has.
prove it.
That would prove
No,
humans
it
are
wouldn't.
observational
That's evidence,
creatures.
not proof. You're
Humans are
conflating the two.
observational creatures. That's proof. What? That's
No, it's
evidence.
not.
What are you talking about?
Do you know the
Evidence is
difference between evidence and proof?
evidence is some type of substantiation
So
that is true.
if I gave like an AI, like, you know, a large language model, some sort of prompt, and it claimed a negative reaction or a positive reaction, are we now going to claim this computer is now sentient?
No, just because you give an AI a prompt, right, to give some type of like false reaction, that's not a true reaction. Sentience is just
Well, no,
somebody
I
who
didn't
has a
tell it
central
to
nervous
give a
system
reaction.
connected to a brain.
It's
right?
going off of
It's a
some sort.
biological reaction within humans.
Okay, but why is
Because
the
you need a central
biological
nervous
part?
system.
Why
and a
is the
brain for
organic
this to
part
be possible.
necessary?
That's why animals are also sentient.
You know, we in our brains we have
We have a
electricity
central
going
nervous.
through, right?
We have
signal.
impulses that send through the brain, right? And the brain reacts to those impulses, right? Like you're trying to like hold.
So can I
the
ask
computer
you,
for the
if
simple
a
thing, like-
computer, you know, had the like same sort of pathways and all that through its processor, all the same kind of, you know, parts,
But it's
and all
not
that.
the same. Like for
Okay,
us to
okay,
sit
but I'm
here,
asking.
it's not
Hold
analogous.
on.
It's
The
not
idea
same.
is that we could replicate what our brain does with a computer because our brain
Could we
uses
replicate that?
electricity.
Could we replicate that somehow?
Yeah, well, not with our current
Not
technology, no, but
completely.
theoretically it's possible, right?
Yeah, theoretically it's logically possible, but that would be
Yeah.
irrational.
So the question is, if we
That's
had a computer
logic and
that
reasoning
matched
is
all
like
that,
two
would it
things.
be considered sentient?
Okay, so no, logic and reasoning, right? Logic and reasoning are two things. This is what humanity is bound by. If this is an irrational way of thinking, for me to say, oh, computers, right, can think the
Well,
same way
it's a
humans
principle
do.
test.
Okay, yeah, the principle will still be proven false because without a human being, these computers would not even have the concepts of these things, right? Because it takes a human being to put these concepts as true within the computer.
Potentially,
It's still
but-
a human being doing
Okay,
this.
so here, if we had someone who built this computer, right? You know, computers are just based off of a select
Okay, let's just stop
range.
there.
Hold on.
You base it
Hold
upon
on.
a human being, it's already done.
Hold
'Cause
on.
the human
No,
being is
I'm
required.
getting to, if you would let me finish, okay? So we have a person who builds it, and this computer, you know, this super computer from, you know, 100 years from now that can, you know, emulate human consciousness. You know, computers are just an arrangement of atoms, right? And if you're a materialist, you would believe the brain is just a super complex web of atoms too. You know, in a different timeline, that computer just, you know, all the atoms just came together and formed this computer. Would that be a computer that no longer had human input, human creation, none of that, but just exists? Would that be a sentient computer?
Would that be a sentient computer? Yeah, I would say yes in this like magical area if we can just discompute.
Brother,
disbelieve
what is
all-
the difference though between the atoms? Why is one that a
Right,
human
that's
programmed
just-
and one that didn't?
That's just
Why is
okay.
the
So this
why is who created it?
okay.
Like,
So this is just a conversation of like semantics at this point. Like, right? Like, what if like creation or these atoms created some type of concept of a computer of a brain, and we draw the conclusion that this that's created by the atoms is a computer, right? That's just a difference of language. It still requires a human brain for this concept to exist. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that
Oh
you
my
said human in general, that just eliminates the concept altogether.
no,
That's why
because I
didn't
gave you
take
the
a while.
example of a human developing this computer so that we
Right.
can draw a parallel in a different timeline where the computer wasn't developed by a human, but, you know, the atoms just came together.
Yeah, if it's
in
a
the exact
natural, if
arrangement.
it's a natural occurrence and it's outside of a human control, and this thing occurs naturally and it exists within nature, then I would say it's fine. But computers don't exist within nature; they're created by humans.
Yeah, because we haven't had any natural atoms array in such a way that we have a computer.
Okay,
I'm
so
giving
if
you
it's a natural
hypothetical.
phenomenon, I would say it's fine. That's within human nature. I would say that's like that
Okay.
would be some type of concept of a brain.
So everything is
computer. I would
bound
say
by
that's a concept
matter.
of a brain.
Matter can come together in a certain way to emulate anything we have. Therefore, everything would be natural, no?
No, not necessarily. Like a human taking something and building something is outside of nature.
Why? Why is that?
Why is that? Because humans can go against nature all the time. We go against nature all the time. Natural occurrences is something that just occurs without human interaction.
So if animals decides to do something, let's say, we have an animal who, just finds a rock and a stick and just starts banging on something and it sparks a fire or whatever. Was that a natural occurrence?
I would say the animal taking the thing, I would say that would not be a natural occurrence. I would say that's just an animal trying
So
to
nature can create
adapt.
unnatural things. Got it. So a computer could technically
No, I would say
come to existence.
I would say
from
the action
natural
is
occurrence.
unnatural. I wouldn't say the animal in and of itself. That's what humans are animals,
but
bro.
an animal is a part of nature, correct?
Also are humans.
Yeah. And humans are natural creatures. Humans create unnatural things. So things of nature can create unnatural things. Do you think anything
they can
came
go against
into existence like
natural things. Like okay, humans can go against natural law theory. So can animals. There's no difference here. Like I'm just saying, like the action of itself is unnatural. Like for example, would you say giving an abortion is a natural thing? Like getting an abortion? Okay, so if we commit unnatural actions all the time, why are you trying to sit here trying to like come up with these unnatural things?
Because I believe
back towards abortion.
Hold on. I believe nature can cause unnatural things to occur, right? I believe, for example, we have a specific ontology, right? Our lungs are there for breathing, right? I believe it'd be unnatural for us to start growing tumors because that's not in our nature, right?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, let's move back towards the conversation because we pitted way from
the question is it outside the realm of possibility that nature could create a computer?
Is it outside the realms? Is it logically possible? Yes. Is it rational to think this is true?
Of course,
no.
It's not rational to think it's true. But the question is,
like,
if your principle,
logic and rationale is bounded by each other, right? So for us to hold these things true within our society, we have to use logic and reasoning, right?
Yes, but
so
you see,
if it's logical but
for
not
a principle
rational,
to be true, it would have to be applicable in every instance.
Yes, it would have to stay logically consistent. Yeah, I would say that's true.
So then your principle is
if it has
not
to be
logically
also
consistent.
Is it reasonable to think that a computer could be created by?
It doesn't need to be a rational idea. The question is, if this such thing existed, can your principles be applied to it?
If this such thing existed,
because as far as I'm concerned, your principles are only go as far as the extent of the window that you're going to grant of what you consider to be rational.
Yes, this would be a possibility. Yeah, because that's the whole point of nature. That's the whole point of nature. It helps draw positive and negative conclusions. So that's fine. If this thing was occurring within nature, then that's fine. That's a natural occurrence.
Okay. Well, here, I don't think we're really getting anywhere. We have some people who want to raise their hand.
Well, because we can keep going. The original conversation that we were having, I try to pivot us right back to abortion all the time, and like right back to the obligation.
Yeah, well, we disagree on a fundamental thing. I can't make my argument if we don't agree on some sort of premises, right? If we don't agree on the premises, then we argue about the premises. That's what we were doing.
Right. Okay. So first off, that's not how this works, right? Like if I give a positive thing. If I give a positive argument, right, you're going to have to find some type of inconsistencies within the argument, right, to prove this argument not true. Or some type of
argument. I provided the argument. I made the claim. You disagreed with the premises. We were arguing over the premises.
Right.
Yeah, shout out Wildcat for all the donos. Appreciate it. Shout out Cheddar. Appreciate it. Anyways, like I said, man, we're not getting anywhere. We've been up for 30 minutes. We have other people. You got to get to work as well, man. Hope you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. VX or North Squad? Squatch. Who wants up? Man, it's nicotine gum, man. It's making me want to throw up. Yo, Jay, come up, bro. I invited you. Okay. I'm gonna let you up, VX. Yo, Jay, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Man. Yo, do you
Pretty
wanna
face.
do VX for me? I gotta take a piss.
VX. Okay.
All right,
What's up,
I'll let
big
you
dog?
two do it.
Oh, what's up? What's up, big dog? Yeah, are you pro-choice?
Yep.
Why is that?
Can you explain to me firstly, like, why you think abortion is murder, first off? So I can get, like, a basis point of, like,
You want me to give you a basis point?
yeah, like, why do you think abortion's murder?
I believe it's the unjust unaliving of a human life that has intrinsic moral value.
Okay. So, moral value, um, that's wrong because like if you're talking about your personal moral value, yes, but a early stage fetus is not a person with full moral rights nor like the consciousness of understanding that it's being aborted. And so do you
Wait,
think that fetuses have consciousness?
no, they're not conscious, but I interchange moral value with moral status. Do you know what moral status is?
Yeah,
Okay, so then how would a fetus not possess this moral status?
because it's not conscious enough
Well, why is that grant consciousness?
to possess.
Or excuse me, why is that grant moral worth? Why is consciousness the moral arbiter?
Is that serious?
Yeah, that
Okay,
is a serious question. Because let me ask you this:
I don't mean to laugh.
if we have a baby born in a coma, would you say that they have
Uh,
zero moral worth?
yes.
Oh,
Because
zero
they,
moral worth.
yeah.
So, baby born in a coma
Oh,
could gain.
wait. Sorry, baby. You said baby. Yeah. Well, that's also a baby, though. You have to think about it, because like
But they have no
a
consciousness.
fetus
You said
doesn't.
consciousness
Hold
was the
on,
moral
hold
arbiter.
on,
Any
hold
other
on.
distinction you make is irrelevant.
What do you mean?
You said it does not have moral consideration because it does not have the capability of sentience or consciousness, right? We have a baby born
Yes.
in a coma, right? Lacks,
Yes.
consciousness, lacks sentience. Would you grant moral worth to it, yes or no?
Yes. Because that's in a
But
baby that's kept alive
those
and
are other
it's out of the
distinctions in
mother's.
sentience. Those are other distinctions there.
Why are you cutting me off?
Because you're making distinctions that have no correlation.
I'm trying to talk to you, man. Chill out. So, anyways, a baby is conscious to the point it can wake up from the coma, while a fetus does not have any consciousness at all until it's at least 24 to 25 weeks.
Okay, so you're mistaking capability of consciousness or capacity, right? A fetus is not conscious, never will be until they are
Yes.
born, right? So
Yes.
the capability
So,
obviously is what you value, not the actual presence of it. So the question is let's say we have a baby born with anencephaly. Do you know what that is?
hold on. Let me look it up.
I can just explain it to you. It is when a baby is born without the part of the brain required for conscious experience. Right, I'll let you up after. Okay. Okay, so suppose we have a baby born with anencephaly. Would you grant any sort of moral consideration towards it?
Hold on, I'm reading up on this. Hold on. What do you mean? Like, hold on. Because you said the consciousness, but it's telling me different things.
Well, more parts of the brain are gone, but the point stands because we're arguing about consciousness. It doesn't have the capability to deploy conscious experience.
It does, though. That's the big
Not with
issue here,
anencephaly.
man.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you what I did, Jay. Why exactly do you think abortion is murder? Is it based on like morals or like religion or like what's up, dude?
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of just asking, like, why do you think such thing is murder? Well, because it falls in the definition of murder.
It really doesn't.
Okay, so define murder for me.
The unaliving of something.
No, that would be killing. There's difference between killing and murder.
Okay. Murder is defined as the unlawful killing of a human being
Or
with
unjust killing, because
malice
no,
of
not
forethought.
without malice intent. You don't need those things, right? Those are not what's needed. It is the unjust or unlawful killing of another human being, right? The idea is that we believe, abortion is unjust killing, right? So therefore, we fall in the definition, of murder.
Dude. Man, oh my god. So you just think it's murder because it's just
Because we don't believe it's
unaliving.
justified.
Why?
Well, I don't believe there is a good justification to take away another human life. Actually, let me rephrase that. I don't think that there is justification to take away an innocent human life, right?
They don't have neural connections
But
until
that's
roughly
but the
24 to
question is, what
25
makes human
weeks.
life? Is human life your conscious experience, or is it the biological truth that you are a living human organism?
It's non-sentient. What?
Oh, okay. So
Yes, okay. So it doesn't
you
really
can still
matter if you abort it or
can you
not.
murder non-sentient? Or actually, let me ask this: Can you
Yes, you can.
kill non-sentient things? Can you kill a plant?
Yes.
Okay, so then you can kill non-sentient humans, right? I
Yeah.
believe that regardless of your sentient status, you are still innocent, right? So therefore, if you are an innocent human organism, you can be murdered.
So it's just your moral status on things. That's all
Well,
you're
I mean,
telling me.
abortion is a moral discussion. Yes, it is a moral debate.
Okay. Let me get my viewpoint. I don't think abortion is murder because it's fully focused on the mother. I believe that a fetus, since it does not have a consciousness, and after like how many trimesters is that? Like maybe the second trimester, the third trimester, I believe that um it's a little too far to abort a fetus because of the neural connections that the fetus soon grows. Um, and so I believe that since they do not have the neural connections until 24 to 25 weeks, I think that abortion should be allowed because it doesn't really matter. Like, I get your moral like status on things, but like it's all in the end choice. It's the mother, and the mother needs health care for her baby, you know?
The mother needs health care for her baby, and the health care
Yeah.
for her baby is ripping that baby away from the thing it needs to survive. Do you
Yep.
what? Or
Yeah.
do you hear
Kill it.
yourself?
Kill it.
But
I do
how's
hear
that? But
myself.
how's that health care for the baby?
I said it was health care for the mother, not the
No, you
baby. I don't
didn't.
care
You
about
said
the
it was for the
baby.
baby.
No. I said it was for the mother.
This live is recorded. I can tell you right now. You
I
said
know.
for the baby, and I'm pretty sure the people in the audience will also clarify.
Okay.
You definitely said for
Okay.
the baby, but regardless, I'm not going to harp on that mistake. So
Okay.
can you tell me what percentage of abortions are there for the life of the mother?
What do you mean? Elaborate.
What percentage of abortions are due to life of the mother?
I don't know.
It's less than 1%.
Okay.
So if you are going to grant abortion
Mm-hmm.
for everyone for the 1% of cases, would you be willing to open up murder laws for the 1% of times that maybe there's a claim to be made that could be justified?
It's not murder.
Gang, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking if you
I
are
know,
willing.
but you're talking about opening up murder laws. It's
The
not
reason I'm
murder.
asking that is, should we like grant a rule for the exception?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you be willing to open up murder laws so that, you know, the 1% of cases that might be justified don't get persecuted against, but other than that, murder's completely legal?
Yeah.
You would?
Yep.
Well, that's absurd.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
So from what I can tell, you don't actually have really a logical argument. Your argument is that you just like abortion.
yeah. I think it's healthcare. So there's no.
Well, we disagree on that, right? What I'll say is that I believe healthcare is there to like benefit people, right? If abortion
Yeah.
only
So it benefits the mother
hold on.
by giving her.
If it only saves the life of the mother in 1% of instances, then it is not something that on a wide scale benefits mothers, right? All this is there to do is show how much we can harm the innocent, right? And I don't think healthcare is there to do that, right? So just because you can attach a label and call it healthcare doesn't mean it actually is, right? The same way you can call it a right doesn't mean it actually is, right? This is basically homicide on a mass scale of babies, and it's completely disgusting. And I don't know how you can say that you don't even have like a pragmatic reason to support it. You are just giving an argument based off of pure emotion.
Because the fetus is not conscious. So it doesn't really matter if you abort it or not.
So your argument is the fact that
plus,
we can murder
hold
it,
on.
therefore we
90% of all abortions take place in the first 3 months.
That's irrelevant.
Which means, yes, it is relevant because the fetus does not have consciousness.
Like I said, I don't care about consciousness. That means absolutely nothing whether we should murder or not murder a person.
It does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
That's not grounded in anything. Why? I believe humans without consciousness deserve life. We shouldn't be actively murdering people without conscious experience.
It's a fetus.
So what?
And I understand that.
Do you know a fetus is a human organism, human DNA? It's
I do.
Growing. It exhibits homeostasis. You're aware of these things, right?
I do.
So then your whole argument is the fact that we, you know, because it doesn't exhibit this one characteristic that you believe humans should possess, therefore we should murder it.
Okay,
right?
So big statement. Do you think rape victims should get abortions?
Do I think they should get abortions? When it comes to
if they get pregnant from their rapist.
I'll answer this. And you know, I think that's a very loaded question because what you're saying here is that you're giving a dichotomy of choices here, right? It's either I say yes to this, right? Women can get, or women that were raped can receive these, right? And the
say rape.
Hold on.
Rape.
I'm not going to because I'm not trying to get banned. Okay. It's my live. I can say what I want, right?
Okay. Sorry. Go on, dude.
So the dichotomy is either you grant this and their life apparently gets better and they don't have to look in the eyes of their, you know, rapist every day when they're looking at their child, or you deny the abortion and you're despicable because now their lives will be horrible and they will be ruined, right? And I think that's a very dangerous false dichotomy because I believe in a third nonviolent option. Where the mother safely delivers a child and the child, you know, gets support alongside with the mother through counseling, through therapy and all these things. And this is a third option not really talked about. And I think it's a disservice. It's completely disgusting that you're telling, you know, victims of rape that you have to go through with murdering your child if you want any sort of hope of, you know, getting rid of that trauma. It's very awful.
So overall, you think the mother should just give birth to it?
Safely with care, extra care, right? This is, you know, a horrible situation. Every outcome is going to be horrible.
It's a horrible situation that you're supporting it.
No, you think saying we shouldn't kill our offspring is me supporting rape?
At that point, because you're saying that a
I will
rape
say
victim
the
should give
fact.
birth to a child that
No,
they
no,
did not
no. I
want.
don't
Their
think
mental
anyone should be.
health, their mental
Hold on.
well-being
I don't
is
think
bad. Their
anyone.
physical health will be
Excuse me.
bad.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
I don't think any person should be forced to be a parent if they don't want to. But the unfortunate fact is, I believe you become a parent not when the child is born, but when the child is conceived, right? So after the child is already conceived,
Okay.
you're a parent, right? And I would say it is always wrong for a parent to murder their offspring.
So are you
That's
going
not
to
me
let
in
me get my
support of rape.
standpoint on this?
Well, right after this, I want to say we agree
Okay.
rape is wrong because you are violently imposing your will upon another human being, right? I will say that is very similar to what abortion is. You are violently imposing yourselves upon another human being. So the fact that I'm against, rape victims, going ahead and killing their offspring because something unfortunate happens to them, I think that is more anti-rape than promoting abortion. Because I'm not advocating for the stance that we violently impose ourselves upon other people.
Okay. So the reason why I'm saying this is because the way that you're coming off is supporting the rapist.
No, I'm not.
And
No,
no, don't cut
absolutely
me
not.
off,
Absolutely not. No,
because
I'm going to
if
cut you off
I'm
if you make
telling you
stupid claims like that I am in support of rape. Absolutely not.
you're spreading misinformation, dude, like you're
What
sitting here and telling
misinformation am I
me
spreading? What
that
misinformation am I spreading?
a rape victim should not get an abortion. Because
Yeah,
why?
I would advocate
Because
for them.
of the
Okay,
fetal life?
so question. Where is the misinformation?
Yo, I don't even remember, bro. But anyways,
Oh,
besides my point.
okay. So you made a claim about
Okay,
me.
okay,
I
hold
spread
on. Okay, dude.
misinformation. Hold on,
Okay,
wait, hold
okay,
on. You made a claim I
okay.
spread misinformation. You made a claim that I am pro-grape. You made all these slanderous claims when never once did I say I support grape. Never once have I spread misinformation. So I feel like you're
Okay,
arguing very dishonestly here.
okay. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I'm sorry. The reason I said that, and I understand you denied it, and I respect that. But the reason I said it is because rape victims do not, they barely get like anything for them. If they
And
deliver the
that's very
child,
unfortunate. And I'll stand right beside you 1,000% and say we should provide, crisis pregnancy centers. We should provide, more things to
no,
them. We should provide them
no,
with more
no.
counseling, more
That's
therapy,
not what
more
I'm
money.
saying, man.
Well, you
I'm
said
not saying
they don't
that.
get anything. That's what you did say.
I'm saying that they should be able to get an abortion because that's their rapist's child.
And it's
And
very unfortunate, but I have to ask you, in a unfortunate situation like that, would you rather the mother go ahead and murder her offspring for the hope,
yes,
for the dream that she might get over this trauma, or would you rather a third option, one without violence, one without any more, imposing our wills upon other people, without any of that, where the mother safely delivers her baby, right, where she receives proper counseling, proper therapy, the things that actually get people better, and the child actually getting to live a life that it did not have to deserve to be ripped out of the womb? You really think that you would prefer the former than the latter?
yes. Because, are you going to cut me off or can I talk?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The thing is, why would you want somebody? Let's imagine you were raped in this situation and you were a woman. Why would you want your rapist to give you a kid and you have to live with the trauma, with the ruined mental stability, and barely having access? I understand you have access to therapy, but for the child itself is sticking to you that that's my rapist's child. I got raped and that's my rapist's child. How would you feel in that situation?
Well, in the situation where I'm raped is very unfortunate. Absolutely. Every outcome is going to be horrific. There is no outcome of rape that is good, right? The abortion, I mean, I don't think any woman necessarily wants to go through with an abortion. That's their own child. Remember, it's not just the rapist, that's your child as well. And I would not want to be an accomplice
But
to
it's a
not just.
child you didn't agree to. it's non-consensual. So why would you keep a
Of
child
course,
you did
but
not
the
want?
child didn't consent either to being put in that unfortunate situation, and the child
Then you
doesn't
kill
deserve
it.
to. Hold on, the child doesn't deserve to be punished for the crimes of the father. Why would you go ahead and say we should just kill it? That's crazy. That's absolutely absurd.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy to
Of
want
course it is.
to not. No, hold on. It's not crazy to not to want to carry your rapist child. Why
Of course,
it gives
of course.
off you
But the
don't
thing
you just
is,
don't care
you're
about
saying
the
you're
victim
acting.
at that point.
Of course I care. That's why I'm advocating for better resources
You're not
out there
really
for better
advocating
therapy.
if you're not hearing me out on my statements, little
What I
guy.
am not advocating for is that the mother decides to, hey, I'm going to off my child for the hope, for the dream that this might improve my mental health, because that's not a replacement for therapy. And the fact that you're acting like this is a replacement for therapy is crazy.
I am not.
Of course
saying
you are.
that, little
Of
guy.
course you are.
I'm not. I'm not.
Absolutely. 1,000% you are.
When did I ever say that, man?
Well, when you're coming in here and you're saying, okay, the third option that he's providing where, delivery is safely done, the mother receives therapy, and the child gets to live a life that you were advocating for it to be killed, you basically are claiming that, if you do not abort this child and you see this child, you are going to be staring in the eyes of your rapist every day, and your mental health is going to get worse. I just deny that's true. I just deny that option there.
Okay. So would you say that a fetus is considered a baby before the 24-week span? Would you say a fetus is considered a baby, a conscious baby before 24 weeks?
I would not consider it a baby because that's a stage of development, and I wouldn't consider it
So
conscious.
you can sit there and you can't argue with me that it's a baby, because if she gets an abortion before
if I
third month
use the word baby, I'm
trimester,
using it synonymously with a preborn child. Regardless, the point is that I don't necessarily care if it's missing attributes that you think are morally considerable. I don't necessarily care if it doesn't have consciousness or if it's not born yet, because I don't believe those are what makes humans or human beings valuable. I would say it's from the virtue, from the membership of being a part of this species, not from your virtue of having consciousness.
you're backtracking.
I'm
man.
not backtracking. What am I backtracking on?
The whole thing about, they're not considered a human because they're not conscious.
No, I said
And I
they're not considered
understand
a baby. They're considered a preborn child, which is still a human being.
Yes,
I'm
so
making
you
the
can
claim.
abort them.
No. I'm making the claim that human beings should not be killed. Not that only babies shouldn't be killed or only adults or teenagers. I'm saying no human being, period, should ever be murdered, regardless of their developmental stage, regardless of their conscious ability, regardless of any single factor, because what you're claiming is a specific attribute is what gives humans a moral worth, right? Now, let's look at where this sort of rhetoric was kind of popularized, or not popularized, but where it was used most known for. We look at Nazi Germany, right? These Jewish people do not have our DNA. Therefore, these people are not considered human.
Gives an entity moral worth.
Says who?
Says facts, man. Look it up. Look it up. I have a website pulled up right now, man.
Oh my goodness. What kind of argument is this? You're making a claim.
Because you're sitting here and you're saying
do you believe
that...
Okay, hold on. Do you believe morals are objective or subjective?
Do you want the
There's no right or wrong
name?
answer. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm asking you personally, what do you think? Is morals objective or subjective?
Subjective.
Okay, if morals are subjective, then why are you Googling for an objective answer to a subjective question? That's like me Googling, is cherry ice cream the best? Well, obviously,
it is.
Okay, well, I would have to agree with you on that from a subjective point of view. But that's like me Googling.
Yes, but you have to look at science and you have to look at facts that are given to you.
And science says life begins at conception. Science, you see, you're holding to what is known as scientism, and there's a big flaw with scientism. The idea that science can give you moral answers to questions, right? If I were to tell you this is a cancer, right? You can't make a claim using only science that we ought to eradicate it. You can only just describe what it is. Science doesn't give oughts from ises, right? It doesn't make a claim about the moral world. It makes a claim about the empirical world. So when we're looking at a fetus, right? Science can't give a claim that, okay, it has moral consideration because science doesn't deal in the realms of morals, right? So you can't get an objective fact from that if you believe morality is subjective.
Okay, so another thing. Would you say it is an embryo or a fetus while it's at 5 weeks?
Are you asking, like, is it one or the other, or do I believe it's just, one of them?
Do you believe? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a fetus?
I mean, that's not what I believe. That's just what it is.
It's a fetus at 5 weeks.
Yeah. Or it could be an
It's
embryo
not.
or fetus. It's an embryo, yeah. But a
It's
fetus
an
comes
embryo.
later. An embryo is early on, fetus is later, correct.
So you can kill the embryo.
I mean, I could kill
you think
but
that's
that doesn't mean
immoral?
I should. Like,
Where
I
did
don't
I
see
come
what your
in this
point is.
situation,
Well,
Tard?
the idea is that you're telling me what it is and you're asking, can I kill it, right? You can't get moral answers from, science. You can't get objective answers from subjective things, right? If morals are subjective, like you said, there's going to be no objective truth to the question, can I kill an embryo? Can I kill a fetus? You're just dealing in, it's a category error, truly. That's what it is.
So you don't think that a woman should get a medical abortion if it's an embryo before it has fully developed into a fetus?
I grant
you
for
think
life of the mother. In the 1% of cases, the ultra rare cases where the life of the mother is on the line, yeah, I would grant it. But aside from that, no, I don't believe elective abortion should be allowed.
So do you think minors should have to be forced to give birth?
If their life is on the line, of course they should be allowed to get it.
So you think a 14-year-old girl should
her
be
life is on the
subjected to
line,
giving
yeah,
birth?
she can get. If
no,
her life is on
not
the line,
if her
she
life
can get
is
it.
on the line.
Yeah, if her life is not on the line, I believe it would be in everyone's best interest for her to deliver safely. Correct.
So what you're saying is you're weird.
What I'm saying is I don't like the murder of
So
children.
what about if it was like a 10-year-old girl, say?
If her life is on the line, yeah, she should be allowed to get
Dude,
it. A 10-year-old
no.
girl, when you're 10 years old, your life, when you are pregnant,
Hey,
your life is
no,
very much at
no,
risk
dude.
there. Yeah. A 10-year-old's life is most likely to be on the line. Absolutely.
You need to slow down, dude. You are sitting there and telling me straight to my face that a 10-year-old girl should give birth.
Did you not hear anything I said?
I heard you.
I feel
I
like you're
heard you
choosing not to
correctly.
listen to me.
No, I'm listening very well. I'm just saying it's
don't think you
really
are.
weird that you're sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, she should give birth.
I think it's really weird that you're sitting here not even giving a pragmatic argument for abortion, but just saying Google says it's acceptable.
I'm not on
That's
Google.
what you did. You
I'm not-
Googled it. We could hear your keyboard. Everyone could. You Googled.
Does it sound nice?
It sounds pretty good. But anyways, you Googled, can we kill an embryo? You're asking Google for an objective fact to a subjective claim.
I'm on websites, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, but you see, it's a category error.
Websites and Google aren't really the same thing, man.
Google is a website, google.com.
I understand that, but like, it's other websites. And plus, AI overview, man. You gotta actually look at facts. And I'm telling you, strict facts.
Strict facts, okay. You see, then you do believe there are moral facts that exist, correct?
Not really.
So then what facts are you giving me? What?
Medical facts, man. What?
Brother, what medical fact have you given me?
Are you serious? This whole argument has been based on medical facts.
No, it hasn't, because
you're sitting here and you're basing your own truth off of morals, and you think that abortion is murder because of your moral status. I'm giving you medical facts and I'm giving you scenarios
But
that
you
you
see,
are defying. And
you're doing the category error again. You can't get an ought from an is. You can't say science says such things is murder and such things aren't murder, because murder is a claim, a moral claim of killing, right? It is saying this killing was right or wrong, right? Murder says this killing is wrong, right? Science can't give you an ought from an is. Science can teach you how to make nuclear bombs, but it can't tell you where to drop it. Science can tell you, how to make a sword, but not who to stab it in, right? It can tell you a lot of things about the natural world, but it can't tell you how to use it, right?
it's just moral views, man. Like
Exactly. And you believe
legally.
there,
Hold on,
and
hold
you
on, hold
believe
on,
there are
hold on,
no
hold
moral
on, hold on,
facts.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
You said yourself you don't believe in.
Legal status, man. Legal
So you're
status.
appealing to
Do
legality.
you know about the born alive rule?
Enlighten me. Explain that to me. Explain that for the audience.
The traditional common law states that a legal person must be born alive to be a victim of murder.
Okay, so
So
can I
a
ask you this?
fetus is not somebody that's born alive. So you can
All
go
right, so
ahead and
let me
kill that
ask you
bitch.
this. Legally you can, but you see, I'm advocating for the law to be changed. Now, the question is, in an anarchist state where there is no laws, where there is no recognition, would you still grant that you and me are still persons?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the
Because
law
we're
means
conscious
absolutely
and we're
nothing.
alive
It
and we're
means,
out of our mother's
dude,
bodies.
like
Yes,
I
dude.
said, those things are irrelevant to the ontological nature
They
of
are
the
relevant
fetus.
because that's what
No,
you're
they're
saying.
not.
Because you're saying
No,
that
they're not.
are we people and the fetus is not technically a person yet until it is
Brother,
out of the body.
it's not relevant.
It it is relevant, dude.
No,
What are
it's
you
not
talking? How is it
because
not relevant?
because you're talking about things that are aside from its ontological nature. If let's say I got into a car accident tomorrow, right? And I had to be connected to my mother and I'm using her blood. There's a moral discussion and she's gone. There's a discussion to be had if it is moral for my mother to unplug while I require her blood in the hospital, right? But no one would deny I'm no longer a person.
Sorry, I accidentally scrolled.
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you I did not hear like anything because I scrolled. What'd you say? Sorry.
Yeah,
I heard like
so
some of it, but like
in the case where like I get into a car accident and I have to
uh-huh.
rely on my mother's blood or whatever to survive, right? I'm now reliant on her the same way a fetus is reliant on the mother. Now, the question is not whether if it's moral for her to unplug or not. The question is, am I still a person?
Yes.
Okay. So
Because you have a physical consciousness.
A physical
And you're out
consciousness.
of your
So
mother
this is
and
something you can
the
point to?
thing is
This is a
you're out
consciousness that
of
you
your
can point to.
mother's womb. You are a fully developed person. Never
Okay.
mind the car crash, but you are a fully developed person
When is a human
rather
fully
than a
developed?
fetus. 24 to 25 weeks, which is the
So
third
obvious.
trimester, I
Well,
believe.
no, fully developed, not when the consciousness is developed. Fully developed.
9 months, I believe. I don't know.
So
You
we
told me
don't
not to
do
Google
we.
shit, dude.
So we don't develop any more past 9 months.
Fully developed? Like,
That's what you
officially?
said. I'm a fully developed human being. When do humans fully develop?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Dude,
It's a
dude.
lot more than like 9 months,
Then what
bro.
is it? What is it?
It's
What is
like
it?
21.
Isn't it
21 years.
25
Well, I mean, the number
when your
changes all the
brain
time.
fully develops
Sometimes
and stuff?
for males, it's in their early 30s. For females, it's usually in their early to mid 20s. You know, there's no exact answer, but I can guarantee you it's a lot longer than 9 months.
Okay. So
Okay.
the
So
fetus isn't fully developed, so it doesn't
and
matter.
technically neither am I. So I'm
How
not
old are you,
fully
man?
I'm 18.
Then die. I don't what? Like I don't know what to tell you, dude.
How old are you?
17.
Okay, well, I mean, it does say 18 plus up there, but regardless, okay.
Yeah, well,
Point aside,
I can't,
the thing is,
respectfully,
what do you
I
should
can't really see like your background too well. Like I can see abortion is murder and follow heart, but I can't see like the rest of it, if I'm gonna be so honest with you.
Okay, well, here. I mean, what I will do is I'll address your point. But I will put you down because you are 17. I don't want to get banned from TikTok. So what I'll say is, yeah, human beings develop throughout the entirety of their lives. You said a fetus is not fully developed. Therefore, regardless if it's connected to the mother or not, the fact that it's not fully developed and out of the womb, it has no
Because
moral
you're out
right.
of your mother's womb. Like, that's the big argument here.
Do you think that we can do absolutely anything to the fetus as long as it's in the mother's womb, its sovereignty zone?
Yep.
Okay. So let me ask you a question here. There was a substance that used to be on the market called tramadol. This was to relieve pregnancy pain. After about 10 years, it was pulled from the market because this substance frequently found that, okay, babies are being born without limbs, they're being born without arms and legs, right? So it was pulled from the market for that instance. But if, you fully believe in the sovereignty zone, shouldn't mothers be allowed to drink as much alcohol, consume as much tramadol as they want?
It's their choice.
Okay, so you
If they
believe
want to
we should
drink
bring it back
alcohol,
to the
they
market,
can.
right? You think we should bring like tramadol
I'm
back to the
not
market, right?
saying that we should. I'm just saying that if
Why not? If it
it's the
relieves
mother's
pregnancy pain
full
and the mother can
choice,
do, yeah, if it's the mother's choice, why shouldn't we be allowed to bring back tramadol?
then you do. Like,
Okay, so you're in favor of bringing it back.
what's your argument here?
So you're in favor of bringing it back, is what you're saying.
I
It's
said
just
it's
a
the
yes or no.
choice of the mother.
Just say
No.
yes or no. You're not in favor of
Then
bringing
no.
it back, or you are?
I'm not.
Why? It would be internally consistent with your worldview.
Because you're sitting here and you're saying that they shouldn't bring it back because what? It
Because
took a few
babies
limbs
were
off
being
of a
born
baby?
without. Basically, it melts the arms and legs of this baby as it's developing. The question is,
Well,
if you can do absolutely anything you want up to the point of murdering this child, should you be allowed to consume things like tramadol or, an abundance of alcohol as long as it's in your womb?
it's the mother's choice. And
So
that's
you're in
that at the
favor
end
of
of the
bringing it
day.
back?
Sure, man. Yeah.
Okay.
If
All
they
right.
don't read the risk of it, then, what can you do? You don't own the mother's body, so you can't
Okay.
control what she consumes and doesn't consume. You know?
Okay.
Do you get
All
where
right.
I'm coming at with you?
I think it's absurd.
I think that it's the mother's choice in the end game, man.
So you're like fully in favor of like libertarian ideology is what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're a libertarian.
Yep.
Okay. That would mean that it would be wrong for me to impose my will upon you because, well, that's just wrong under your libertarian worldview, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So why would that not be analogous to abortion where you're imposing your will upon a fetus? Your own child?
Because a fetus does not have human rights. So
Okay, where
therefore
do
the
these human
fetus does
rights
not
come
matter.
from?
When you're a born human, man.
No, I'm not asking when you get them. I'm asking where they come from.
I don't know. The law?
Okay. So
So
basically what you're saying is that this is something we all collectively agree upon, but it's nothing that is like objective that you have these rights.
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, the argument's moot. This is an argument appealing to authority here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because it is, man. A fetus does not have like human rights at all because it's
The question is though, should they? And I'm arguing they should.
and I'm arguing they shouldn't.
Can I ask you, do you believe Jewish people deserve human rights?
Yes.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
Well,
Are you against Jews?
No, but if I said, for example, people who wear a yarmulke do not deserve human rights, why would that be any different than you saying people without consciousness don't deserve human rights?
I didn't say humans without consciousness. I said fetuses, buddy.
Oh my goodness, and there are people.
Oh my goodness, yeah, dude. I'm
There
not
are
saying.
people.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay, so then do you believe that people deserve human rights?
Yes, fetuses don't
Why?
because they're unconscious, and
Okay,
they aren't
I don't
out
think
of
we're
the
getting
body
anywhere.
yet. Hold on. They aren't out of the mother's womb yet. So why do you think they deserve human rights
Because they're
if they
human.
aren't out of the mother's womb?
Because they're human.
Womb. Sorry.
Because they're human.
Yeah, but they're not conscious enough yet to make
I don't really
human
care about
rights.
consciousness.
Right.
If we all went unconscious
I do.
tomorrow, like let's say like everyone in like
Mhm.
Africa went unconscious tomorrow, right? And they're going to be unconscious for 9 months, but they're still going to survive. I would still say it is wrong to go ahead and murder them.
We're all going to be unconscious. How would we murder each other?
No, I said everyone in Africa specifically, right? I said
Africa.
if everyone in
First
Africa,
it's Jewish people, then it's
Hold on.
Africa. This is giving like kind of racism, man. I don't know.
Because I'm using examples here of racist ideology does not mean I condone it. The question is, if everyone in Africa tomorrow went unconscious, and there's white people in Africa, don't worry about that. There's white people there, and black people, and people of every color, and they all went unconscious tomorrow, would it be wrong for us, you know, wherever we are around the world, to all collectively agree to go to Africa and start murdering them?
No.
Why? They're not conscious.
But they're also not inside their mother's womb.
Okay, so then
man.
why are you even talking about consciousness anymore? It's not that anymore. That's not your moral arbiter. It's the bodily autonomy argument. So why are you conflating the two?
I'm sorry, man.
Okay. All right. All right, man. Okay, I mean.
All right, man.
All right, go.
So why are you comparing it to like? I'm playing Arsenal, actually.
Oh,
Thank you.
Arsenal doesn't sound like Arsenal.
I'm listening to very happy music right now. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Sounds like Autism 101 music.
It sounds like your Tarded 101 music.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think
making fun of
a good portion of the audience would disagree.
Autism now. Just shows who you really are, man. Then you sit there and you're like, oh, Jewish people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they control most of the media. I'm just saying.
Okay, so what's your issue with Jewish people, man?
Well, the fact that they control most of the media.
So you just don't like Jewish people? Are you a Nazi?
No, I wouldn't consider myself one. No, no, I wouldn't.
Okay.
But you don't need to be a Nazi to say, hey, this underrepresented group is overly represented in certain areas. I'm just saying.
Dude, you're saying that Jewish people control most of the media. What?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fact.
It's mostly Christians. What are you talking about?
It's mostly not. Just because
where are your facts on this?
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at here, I'll pull it up for you.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, so, you know, Sony, Paramount, Fox, Comcast, Warner Brothers, Discovery, the Walt Disney Company are all ran by, you know, 6 Jewish corporations, and they own 96% of the media. Sony CEO.
You
Tom
didn't say
Rothman,
that though.
What?
Man, I thought you were talking about something else. My bad.
Brother.
So what's wrong with Jewish people, man? Like, if they're owned, then like, what's the issue with the Jewish people? Aren't bad, man.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say they're the greatest people either.
I understand that, but they're not horrible. It's a religion.
Well, I never said they were. Well, it's also an ethnicity. You can be ethnically Jewish.
Sorry. Yes, ethnicity too. Sorry, forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
So why
I don't necessarily have a
Jewish
problem
people?
with. I don't have a problem with them. You're just claiming that I do because I use them in an example.
that was irrelevant.
No, it was very relevant because the idea is that if you're willing to discriminate against a group of people because of certain characteristics, then why are the Nazis less moral than someone who commits an abortion?
Are you hearing yourself right now, man?
Yeah, I'm asking you a genuine question.
Why are Nazis compared to people who give abortions?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to basically get rid of a group because of a biological characteristic, like
It's
a Jewish
not really
person's ethnicity.
a group, though. It's
Listen,
it's
can I
early
ask you-
life, freaking.
Oh, of course, but would
It's a
you
clump
disagree?
of cells at that point.
Would you? Well, two things here. Stage of development, of course, is a group, right? We define group as any characteristic that is common between people, right? I could say, hey, black people are not a group, they're an ethnicity. Yeah, but they're also a group, right? Teenagers are not a group, they're a stage of development, but they're also a group, okay? Now, if we get to the clump of cells argument, obviously that's not true because in biology we define clumps as
You
things
realize
that don't
that
have any unity
black
or
is a
harmony.
race, not ethnicity, right?
Dude.
Dude,
Oh my
no,
goodness.
you said it. You sat there
Who
and
cares?
you told me that.
Who cares?
I care. What?
Brother.
I care of
Race
facts.
and ethnicity. Tell me what the difference is.
Dude.
Tell me what the difference is.
African American, Native.
I didn't say
like,
African American.
No, because you wanna say that. Race, black. Race is black.
Yeah, you're telling me what falls into what category, but I'm asking for the distinction. What's the symmetry breaker?
What do you mean symmetry breaker?
What is the difference? What separates these two? If you're saying this is not this, right? What is
Yes.
like the breaker that makes
Because
it go
there's
from that?
ethnic
What
groups
separates it?
rather than just race.
Yeah, but tell me, what's the difference between these groups? I want you to tell me.
Because there's more races that go into being, or not races, sorry.
Okay.
Ethnicities that go into being racially black.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Like Blasian, black and Asian, dude.
Oh, I would say that they're half black and half Asian. Like, what?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a race. And an ethnicity,
No,
dude.
you just have two ethnicities. Like, what are you
No.
talking about?
Black is a race, buddy.
I mean, you're just claiming that there is a difference there. I don't necessarily see it. You're claiming there's a difference. You're creating some sort of arbitrary distinction.
Okay, so
I don't see
Caucasian
it.
people, let's say.
They're not one thing. They are multiple. They are, half black, half
How
Asian.
are they multiple?
They're
No.
half black, half Asian.
Caucasian.
That is 50-50.
We're talking about Caucasians now.
Huh?
We're talking about Caucasians now.
Okay,
White
what
people.
about Caucasians? What about them?
So do they not have any ethnicity at all?
Of course they do. They're Caucasian.
What?
What are you on about? Are you trolling?
No, dude, I can't right now. You're so fucking dumb.
Dude,
It's
you
so-
are so dumb. What are you, like, everyone in this chat has been dogging on you. Like, oh my
And
goodness.
I don't really care about the chat because you're sitting there. Oh, the chat, guys, the chat. I honestly don't care about the chat at all, dude. You've been making bullshit arguments this whole time.
Bullshit arguments.
And then
Can you name one that's
backtracking.
bullshit? When did it, when did I
Jewish
backtrack?
people.
What? Dude,
The
it's not
Jewish people
bullshit.
was the only argument. And then comparing abortions to Nazis. That was a bullshit one right there, dude.
It's not
That
a
one was
bullshit one.
stupid.
I gave you the analogy. I told you how they're analogous. You
Yeah,
didn't
and the
disprove that.
analogy was wrong.
How was it wrong? How is it not analogous?
Why are you no? The thing is, why are you comparing Nazis to people who give abortions?
You see, that's a genetic fallacy. The question of why I'm doing that is irrelevant. The question is it analogous? Yes or no?
What that mean?
And you're calling me dumb.
Dude, I'm not a fucking human dictionary, dude. Just tell me what the meaning is, since you're so smart. Yeah, keep drinking your water. Come on, tell me.
I don't know. I don't think that you're smart enough to understand.
so you don't know. It's okay, dude.
No, if you
We don't
want,
know words
if you want
sometimes.
if you want a definition of analogy, it is like when we have two arguments here, and the core
Uh-huh.
principle of one is applied to another one, right? The symmetry, right? That's what we're talking about. So, I mean, if you don't know definitions, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Just hit a clip. But besides the point, dude, like, I'm gonna backtrack because comparing Nazis to people who gives abortion
Yeah,
is
so tell me how they're not analogous. Tell me.
because Nazis are the people that think the Holocaust was deserved. Do you think the
Okay, but
Holocaust could
you
be
see,
justified
you're giving me a
of those
description.
innocent lives?
No, but you think abortion can?
Yeah, because it's a fetus, man.
Yeah,
What
and
are you
it's a
talking
Jew.
about?
It's a Jew. You're just
It's a
giving me a
Jew, so you don't
description.
like Jewish people.
No. You're giving me a description. You're giving me a descriptive claim, not a moral one. You can't get an ought from an is. You're just doing something that's so like completely
I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking to you
illogical.
normally about how
No, you're giving me an ought from an
Nazis
is.
that
You're giving me an ought
fetuses
from an is.
that mothers should be allowed to kill the fetus if they don't want it.
You're giving me an ought from an is.
You're a big man talking about a woman's choice right here, buddy. I
Am
think
I
a
a big man?
woman
I'm
would
only
have
5'8".
more.
I'm not that big.
Ooh, that really tells me a lot.
Yeah, I'm manlet.
I guess, dude.
Yeah, I know.
So the big thing here is, dude, you're just sitting here comparing Nazis to people who do abortions.
1000%.
Why?
Because I gave you what I told you how they were
No,
analogous.
just explain the reason, man. Just explain the reason at this point, bro.
Because Nazis discriminated off of characteristics. Women who reach or decide to get an abortion are discriminating based off characteristics, just like the Nazis.
It's not characteristics. It's the
Is
early stage development of
which is a characteristic.
do I want this damn baby
Your
or not?
development stage is a characteristic that belongs to you.
Okay, dude. Abortion is nowhere near Nazis.
I mean, you're just saying that, but like, I wasn't
No,
saying they are the
it's
same. I'm saying
factual,
they're
man.
analogous.
Like, you can have opinions all you want, but factually, it's like,
Brother,
like you sound really
of course they're not
dumb, and
wearing
you sound like a Nazi
swastikas.
right now.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, they're not swastikas.
They're not wearing swastikas, but they're still killing people based off of characteristics.
Because it's the mother's choice, man.
And it was the Nazis'
And you're
choice.
saying, okay, let me backtrack again. You
Like, what
also
is this
told me that a
argument?
10-year-old, hold on, that a 10-year-old girl should give birth.
No,
And then
I
you told me
didn't.
that
I don't think they
mother-
should, but I don't think they should be killing their fetus as well. You're putting words in my mouth.
What? How does not killing a fetus is sitting there and telling me that they should give birth? Are you dense?
Are you dumb?
No, you're sitting there and you're telling me that she should not get an abortion.
Yeah, she shouldn't.
That's what you are saying. So
Yeah,
do you think
I
she should be
am.
giving birth?
Do I believe
So do you think
to that child? Yes, but do I think in general 10-year-olds should be giving birth? No. Like, you're conflating the two.
So-
Goodness.
No, I'm not conflating. It's you
are
sitting there and
absolutely conflating the two.
you're telling me that, oh, she should give birth. And even if it was a 14-year-old girl, you said, and then you sat there and you told me that a rape victim should give birth.
I said that it would be better for a child to be delivered safely
And I
by the
told you
mother
flat
and for her
out
to
that
receive
no
counseling.
mother would want to carry their rapist child.
How do you
and
know
you
that?
sat there.
Do you speak for all women?
Yeah. At this point, man,
do you want
sure.
me to invite some women up here who would disagree with you? Because I don't think you speak for them.
I mean, have they been raped before?
Yeah, actually, a couple of them have.
Okay.
Would you like me to bring some up?
Yeah.
Is Raya here? Raya, are you still in the audience? Are you still,
She doesn't speak for me.
Well, you said you speak for all women. So. Is Raya still here? Hold on, let me see. I don't know
Raya's
if
still
she
here,
is.
buddy.
She was in
She
the
is.
chat. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm wondering if she can raise her hand. Just for a few moments. I
Wait,
won't
can
need
you
you for
let
long.
Robert Burrito up? If that's
Maybe
okay.
after. Maybe after.
No, let him up right now, please.
Why?
Because.
Because?
Because. I said so.
And who are you again?
A woman.
Okay. What does that have to do with anything?
That I'm a woman.
Okay,
And I
I'm a
like being a
man.
woman.
Nice to meet you.
No.
No?
It's not nice anymore, dude. It's you sitting here and I don't know. I don't know. You're kind of
It's
fishy.
icky. It's icky.
You kind of sound a little racist to me, brother. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit? Okay, as long as it's not a lot. Because that would be a problem.
And then you sitting there and, kind of supporting the rapist is a little.
No, I never did. I love how you love to just like make wild accusations. You say,
I'm not making wild accusations, dude.
Dude, you absolutely are. Holy. Okay, well, you've been up here for quite a bit. People aren't really happy.
Yeah.
They say you're not doing a good job at defending their position.
I kind of was.
You
but,
really weren't.
To each their own. They're each their own, dude. It's okay.
Exactly,
It's okay.
and to most, you weren't doing a great job.
I was doing a marvelous job.
I'm sure you might think that, but I have to break it to you. You're just wrong. You're just flat out wrong.
You're wrong too, and that's okay. It's just opinions based, man. It's okay.
So then why were you trying to Google opinions? Like, what? You're trying to Google opinions like they're objective facts. It's just the lamest thing ever. Of course you weren't doing like anything productive. You weren't telling me anything. You weren't saying anything.
I was giving you productive. I gave you scenarios.
No, you just
like
accused
you gave
me of being
scenarios.
pro-grape and pro-Nazi.
I didn't sit there and accuse you of being pro-grape. I sat there and I gave you scenarios.
If I say this clearly, right? If I say this clearly, right? I am anti-grape. I do not condone Nazis. I condemn them completely. How are you going to sit there?
So don't compare Nazis to abortions.
Well, no, because I also condemn abortions the same way I condemn Nazis.
Chill out, dude. Take a breather. Damn. What's got you so angry, man? Are you okay?
Who's angry?
You.
Dude, look,
you're
I'm
raising
smiling.
your voice at me. It's funny.
I'm smiling.
I'm not looking. I'm playing Roblox, dude.
Well, if you were looking, you would know I'm smiling. You would know I'm happy.
Well, I'm not focused on you.
Okay, so then why are you here?
Because I was debating you.
Okay, but why are you debating me while you're playing, like, I don't know, Pet Simulator or something? Like, what are you doing?
I told you I was playing Arsenal, man.
I don't believe you.
Fucking Pet Simulator. Do you want to see?
No.
No. I didn't really think so, buddy.
Here, let me make
Grown
a poll
woman
real
playing
quick.
a kid's game? Hey, man.
Here.
A lot of adults like Roblox.
Smile if you want her up, cry if you want her down.
Ooh, shit. There's a big debate. Ooh, shit. Oh, it's kind of even right now, buddy. Oh, there's the 12.
Here, while that's going, I'm going to go pee. I've been drinking so much water.
Oh, zoinks. Oh, zoinks. Bobby. Hi, Bobby. Dude, he sat there and he told me flat out that a 10-year-old girl should give birth. It was, I don't know. And then he kept comparing Jewish people. I don't know.
I love how you just lie. I just love it.
I don't know.
Lie. You just love
No,
lying.
I wasn't lying, dude. I was telling the
You most
truth.
definitely are. You most definitely are.
Liar.
Anyways, they voted you out, so you're gonna have to go.
Bye. Have a good night, man.
Peace. You too.
I won, man.
She won, guys. Yo, we have 98 viewers. Yo, everyone, drop a follow right now if you want to see more of these streams. We've been on for 2 hours. Drop a follow, spam the heart, do what you want. You know, Jordan, appreciate it. We're trying to get to 500. You know, here we have so many people who want to come up. Here, I'm gonna bring Raya up, but I'm not gonna debate her because she's my homegirl. She's just gonna be alongside. Who should I bring up? We have like, I don't know, 10, 15 people with their hands up. Oh, that's Shalom. I was like, who's Prayer Geek? I kind of recognize her.
Oh my god,
That's
wait, I didn't know
Shalom.
that was her.
That's Shalom. Oh my goodness. Shabbat
Where's
Shalom.
Jay?
I don't know. He kind of disappeared.
He's in here.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
I brought Bobby up. I don't know if he's there. Okay.
What's up, man?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. I was just wondering, why do you think abortion is murder?
Well, I would say it just falls in the definition of it. I believe that we should not be murdering, or excuse me, we shouldn't be killing innocent human beings, and murder is defined as the or unjust or unlawful killing of another human being.
So for example, if your sister got raped, would you want to carry that rapist baby? And
Would I,
put that in your
or
family?
would I?
No. I'm saying, like, would you, like, if your sister put up a poll and like, should I keep this rapist baby? Like, would you say yes to that?
Well, I mean, that's a very loaded question. Would I just say yes or no, like you have or you haven't? Like I said with the last person, in the case of like grape, it is something where every outcome is horrific, right? And I don't want to undermine that. Thing is, though, the dichotomy of choice that we have here, where either you get this abortion and your life apparently gets better, or you don't have this abortion and your life dramatically decreases in mental health and all that. I think that's a horrible dichotomy. I think what I would rather vote for, if there is this option, is a third one where the mother gets the therapy and counseling she deserves, as long, with the benefit of the child safely being delivered, so the child also gets to live a life it deserves.
So you're saying that the rapist baby gets a chance because...
You mean my sister's child, not just the rapist baby, right? You're conflating the two. You're acting like this is only the rapist baby that she's just carrying, and she has no sort of responsibility towards her own child. Of course she does. It's her own child.
It's not her own child. She didn't want to have that child.
Okay, but the accidents happen all the time with people, but just because one doesn't want a child doesn't mean that they don't have one,
no,
right?
But I'm specifically speaking on rape. Like, she didn't want to have this child.
But regardless
this baby's
of
gonna
what
get
you're
neglected,
speaking on,
and it's
hold
just
on.
fucked. It's fucked for the baby.
Of course it is, right? But hardship happens in life for children, raised up in situations like that. But the last thing I would want is to go to that baby and say, hey, you are not valuable. Hey, you are not worth anything because you are a mistake and your parents want nothing to do with you. You think that's what should happen?
Well, a good thing the baby wouldn't be there for that, Like, you would just... It wouldn't even be a baby at that point. It'd be a couple...
So you're advocating for basically punishing the baby that did nothing wrong, right? So let
a
me
baby.
just put this in perspective. We don't even have the death penalty for the rapist, but you're willing to give the death penalty to the victim's child.
It's not the death penalty because you're not killing it.
Of course you are. What? How are you not killing it?
Because it's a clump of cells. It's not a living thing. You have to kill something that's living.
Okay, so
It's
how is it not
it's
living?
It's not
So
breathing.
let me give you characteristics.
And also,
hold on. This thing exhibits homeostasis. We know it's living because it is growing and is developing. And if it wasn't growing or developing, then it wouldn't be alive. And if it wasn't alive, it couldn't become a baby. So how can you tell me that this is not a living being?
Hold on, wait. Let me just backtrack for a second. I just wanted to say that when do you think is like the threshold, if any, for an abortion?
0. I don't think people should be getting abortions.
Well, I was just gonna say that I was gonna give you a point to agree with, like that, like the first couple like weeks should be like the time for an
Why?
abortion.
Why?
But because I agree that like some people need to control who they get cream pied by, you know. But
So
at the same
let
time,
me ask you this:
if you bring these babies into this world, it's just gonna be worse for them.
well, do you believe that hardship is just a part of everyone's life?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so do you think we should be killing them because they might face hardship?
It wouldn't be hardship. I mean, you're just sugarcoating hardship.
No, I'm not.
Like
I'm explaining what hardship is.
It's just easy to say that, but these kids.
Okay. All right. Let me
You
give
don't
you
know.
a scenario, right? Suppose we have a child born. Actually, no, let me give you this one. This one is going to really, shine a good light in your favor. So, in the southwest of the United States, you tend to see a lot of, meth labs, right? These are labs where parents are basically producing these substances, and when they get caught and arrested, police usually find their children. Their children are usually as young as like 2 or 3 years old, right? And what happens is these 2 or 3-year-olds get taken into the foster care system. They're bounced around for probably 16, 17 years until they're adults, right? When they're 18. And what happens when they're 18 is they usually live a life of poverty, drugs, prostitution, crime, right? Horrible things, lives no person should be living. But suppose we have a solution to that. When they are found at ages 2 or 3, when their parents are arrested, should we euthanize them so they don't have to deal with the hardships that they would endure later in life?
That's a completely different thing. Because
No,
if
it's
you're
not.
talking about a baby that is born and completely living, standing on its own 2 feet, that's a completely different argument. If you're talking about
no, it's not, and
if
I'll
you're
tell you
talking
why
about a clump of
it's not
cells,
different. Hold on, I'll tell you why it's not different, right? Because the idea is that A, it's not a clump. You're just biologically incorrect there. The definitions don't agree with you on what clump is. Next, you see, the view is that birth means absolutely nothing. It's conception, because you don't start growing when you are born. You start growing at conception. You don't get your own DNA when you are born. You get that at conception. You don't become an individual when you are born. You have it at conception, right? These are all things that aren't exhibited or aren't granted when you are born. They're all granted at conception. So the question is, when you are, why is there a difference is what I'm asking. What is the symmetry breaker?
because once you push the baby out, that's murder. Because that's something that is completely, that's its own thing now. When it's in the belly and it's young and fresh, like
So you're saying
within the first couple weeks, that's not a human.
Okay, so let me ask you this. This is going to be a weird hypothetical, but humor me here. I really want to see how far you're willing to push these principles.
I got you.
Suppose she, expelled the child from the womb, right? But still attached the umbilical cord. And they said, okay, you would agree that it would be wrong to take away the life then, right?
Wait. If the baby
if she expelled the baby from her womb, right? The baby is out there.
What do you mean expelled? Like got it born?
One place to another. That's what birth is, right? It's the expulsion from the womb, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all that birth really is, right? No biological differences happen between the child, right? So, child is expelled from the womb, is not out in the world, right? For everyone to see. You would say it is wrong to, take away the life then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose we put the child back in the womb for like 5 minutes. Would you say in those 5 minutes it would be okay to take away that
I'm not, bro.
baby's
I'm
life?
not advocating for abortion in
Well,
the
answer
9
the
months.
question.
No, bro.
I'm
No.
asking
But
you.
listen to me, because you're not understanding what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that if you think that I agree with an abortion in the 9th month, the baby is ready to go. That's fucked up, because
Oh,
that baby
I
is.
wonder why I would think that, considering when I gave you the hypothetical of those children who are probably going to bounce around foster care, your reason for why it would be wrong is because they're outside the womb. So I wonder why someone would think that you're okay with 9-month abortions.
No, nobody agrees with that, and there's only so many circumstances where an abortion
So I
past
wonder
past
why.
the
Let me
recommended.
ask you this. I really wonder why birth is so important, but at like 8 months you wouldn't be okay with having the abortion, even though they're not born. They're still in the sovereignty zone. They're still impacting your autonomy, correct? Why would the 9th month and 8th month abortions be impermissible?
Because those babies are much more developed than the
Okay,
usual
so it's
abortion
development is what
threshold.
you're saying?
No. I'm saying that these babies in their last stages of birth, that's a baby that's ready to go. But if you're there's only so many situations where if it kills the mother, then that it is what it is. But the babies in the first few
Okay.
weeks, first maybe month or two, that's
So
not
then
a
you
baby.
can't argue that it is wrong to murder a child outside the womb because it is outside the womb if you have some sort of arbitrary line for why you can't even kill them later in the stage. Yeah, you're saying stages, but then your reason for why it would be wrong to kill them outside is no longer because they're outside. It is something else. It is something to do with that developmental stage. And I want to nail down, what is it? Is it consciousness? Is it development? Is it location? Is it dependency? What is it?
That's kind of like a loaded.
It's not really a loaded question. It's a very simple question. I want to understand this, because once I can understand what it actually is and not what you pretend to say it is, then we can actually deconstruct this conversation.
But what do you want me to say to that?
Well, I want to know what you think. Is it developmental? Is it sentience? What is it?
What, the baby?
No, why is it is wrong to kill a child outside the womb but not inside the womb? And you said because, well, the child's already outside the womb. But then I gave you a situation where the child is already outside the womb, and you said, no, it's wrong to murder. And then I said, okay, well, now they're inside the womb. You said, oh, that's still wrong to murder because it's later in the developmental cycle.
I see what you're saying, but it's just, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's purely just at the stage of where the baby's at. That's
so it's developmental.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just
so
the threshold of when the baby
is important. What stage? You gave me like a month or whatever. Like, what
the
was
first
it?
few
Like,
weeks.
First few weeks. After the first few weeks, you said it's wrong, right?
Yeah, and past that, there's only so many circumstances where it's gonna be okay to and terminate that pregnancy.
What I'm asking is what happens after those first few weeks. What changes? Why is it now morally considered?
Because it keeps growing into a baby.
Okay, does it not continue to grow into a baby at conception, like a day after? Or whatever?
No, of course it does, but at the same time, it's not living, it's not breathing.
From what
it's
I'm
not.
hearing is that you just feel uncomfortable after a later stage, but you can't actually tell me what is actually different. You just say, late-term abortions, it's icky. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It is icky,
and that's your argument, is that after a certain time it's icky, but before then it's not icky to me. Therefore, we should permit abortions at a wide national scale. Because
I feel like it'd be better to just do that than just but it's really it's purely the circumstance. Like, you shouldn't be getting an abortion if it's you met some guy at the club and things got messy. I don't think.
Which are most abortions? Because let me ask you, do you know how many abortions are due to grape, life of the mother, all these things. Do you know what the percentage is?
Let me guess, less than 1%.
Well, it's around there, yeah. So can I ask you, if that's the case, and 98% are elective, these are people who do not have adequate protection and still decided to do it, or they are just promiscuous, would you still say
But
that
no,
these
no, no.
people should be granted a right to murder their offspring?
But do you think that bringing that child into the world, do you think there's going to be any benefit to that? These people that maybe had a one night stand, and they're like,
What kind of question is
I'm
that?
I'm I'm not going to take care of this
Hold
baby.
on. What kind of question is that? Really? You're asking me, is it responsible to bring a child into a world where they're not receiving optimal care? Is that what you're asking? Do I believe that hardship should
It's
negate
not.
one's right to life?
It's more than hardship. It's just like if
Dude, I
if
gave
these
you a
if
situation. I
these
gave you an
people aren't going to
example.
take care of the
Hold on.
baby, if these people
I
are
gave
not
you an
ready to
example.
handle a baby, then
I
why would
gave
they
you an
bring him into the
example
world?
of the most horrific situation you could find a child in, right? Being a child to drug producing parents, bounce around in foster care and become prostitutes. And you said even then, you should not kill it. So I'm really wondering, why? You're giving me all these things. It's all arbitrary. You can't really give me anything besides it just seems icky to you. Do you not see the inconsistency here?
But I mean, you're not really you're not arguing my point. Like what I like.
Because you're not
Just let
making
me
any
say
points.
something.
You said it felt icky.
Cool, of
I
course I
can't
am.
argue against. I can't
Okay,
argue against your feelings.
okay, then let me make a point, and you bounce off of it. Do you think that parents that had a one night stand and things got out of hand and they had a baby, do you think that two parents that are not ready or fit financially to have a baby, do you think that baby should be brought into the world?
Absolutely. I don't think your right to life is determined based off of your parents' ability to, provide you with clothes. I believe if you can't be fed or whatever, we have services out there. We have solutions. We have things to support you. You will not go hungry in this country. So I don't know why you are claiming
You may not
that.
go hungry, but you'll have a fucked childhood, and it's just gonna be a sad life for that
Well,
person.
I know a lot of people who had really fucked childhood. I'll give you an example. I have this friend named Julian, right? He was, he grew up with me, right? And, he went through the foster care system at an early age, right? He's now 18. He is paying so much money for basically a cardboard box. This guy, not the greatest upbringing, but he is one of the coolest people that I know. And I would hate for someone to go around and say, you know what? You had a tough life. How about I do you a favor and inject you with cyanide? How about I take a 9mm and put around your head? That would be horrific.
But your friend isn't everybody, unfortunately. And not everybody has the same
Absolutely. But the
chances.
thing is,
Not everybody has the same chance.
so let me ask you this. If someone you knew, let's say a parent of yours, let's say your father, was depressed, right? Maybe even on the verge of being suicidal, would you say, well, you know what, you had a rough life and this is your call to make. I'm going to support you on whichever, choice you do here? Or would you say, hey, you're not in your right state of mind. Would you consider, going to therapy or something? Would you talk to me, right? Or does hardship mean that you should just be allowed to end your life?
I mean, but it's just easy to say that coming from probably a silver spoon. Like,
I did not
Probably
come from a
you.
silver spoon. I absolutely did not come from a silver spoon.
and I'm not saying that
Absolutely.
hardship is something that should be just like a deal breaker, of course, but there's just so many circumstances where these babies can be born into, and it's just horrible. And it's just there. Some people are unfit to be babies, and adoption is a complete pain in the ass.
Yeah, so
Others can
but
bounce
that's not an
around.
abortion issue though. That's an adoption issue. We can, make those systems better. I'll stand beside you. If you want to make a petition to make the adoption system better, to increase funding or something, I'll sign it, right? Send it to my DMs. I'll do that with you, right? But the thing is, even in places where adoption is not viable, even when foster care absolutely sucks, even in war-torn countries, I would still say it is wrong to murder your child.
Well, that I'd agree with that if it was a child at whatever stage you.
But we agree this is a human organism. We agree this is developing and growing and living. All you're
Once
saying,
after
you're
the
saying.
the threshold, yes, it is.
After what threshold? What threshold for what?
After the first few weeks, after the whatever the
Are you saying
recommended.
before then it's not alive? Are you saying before then it's not human?
Yeah, it's not alive. It's gonna turn into a human, but it's not human at that point.
Okay,
No.
the question is it human versus is it alive? Is it alive or is it human?
At that point in conception, no, it's not alive or human.
Are you sure, buddy? Are you sure it's not
Yeah.
alive or human? Okay, what is a human?
So, like, if you
What
were
is a
looking
human?
at a microscope into a
What
dirty
is
water
a human?
and
What
saw
is
a
a
bunch of
human?
moving shit, would
Can
you
you
call
tell
that
me
like
what
a human?
is a human?
Like,
What is a human? Answer the question.
a human is the Homo sapien. What the fuck do you want me to say to that?
Okay, a Homo sapien, right? How can we determine if something is living?
Beating heart.
Do plants have beating hearts?
Well, that was stupid.
I'll make it simple for you. We have this test in biology. It's a simple one. It's called the NET test. It stands for nutrition, environment, and time. If we give an organism, like if we had a petri dish and we had some bacteria in there, if we give it the right nutrition, the right environment, and enough time, will it develop into a mature member of its species? And it's a simple yes or no dichotomy. If it does develop, then it is alive. If it doesn't, then it's not alive. We can see at conception, right? Given nutrients, right? Given the right environment, given enough time, this thing will develop into a mature member of its species. So we know absolutely without a doubt that this is alive, right? And we know it's human because it contains human DNA, right? We know it is because it is its own unified human organism. That's what makes it different than a clump. You use the word clump, but you're completely mistaken. I'll give you an example. A clump is like a fistful of sand, right? Nothing works in harmony there. Nothing has any sort of unity, right? Therefore, it's not an organism. It is a clump. But a watch on my wrist, for example, we wouldn't say it's a clump of gears and metal. We would say that this is a collection working in unity, in harmony, right? Same way a human organism, even at conception, is working in a harmonious way to develop for the benefit of the being, for the whole. That is what makes it different than a clump. So we know it's alive, we know it's human. I don't see why you have such arbitrary restrictions.
I mean, it's just let me say this again. If you look into like dirty water with a microscope and it's a bunch of moving stuff, like would you say like I can't terminate that? Like you think it's fucked up to do that?
No, because I believe that we have like the reason why it's moral, or not moral, I would say morally neutral to, let's say, eat animal meat, right? Like a burger, right? Of course it includes, killing a cow and all that. But the reason why I say it is wrong to murder human beings but not to kill a cow is because the virtue of being human is what I value, right? It's that membership. It is that species card that you hold, right? Cows do not hold that, so I do not grant any sort of moral consideration to them. Bacteria on, under a microscope means nothing to me. But if it is a human organism, it does mean something. I have a bias for my own species. Don't you have a bias towards your own species?
Conception, at that stage
absolutely,
in conception,
absolutely,
it's really not too different.
No, it absolutely is different because we can see the telos of bacteria versus, a fetus. A fetus has the telos and basically the timeline to develop into someone like you or me. And of course, we would say it's wrong to kill someone like you or me, but bacteria that grows into a virus, right? We would say, regardless of where it is in its development, it would be wrong to kill it. That is what is different.
Are these fetuses conscious?
No, but they will have consciousness, and that's what I'm trying to argue. The fact that you will have some sort of conscious experience at the stage that humans do is what grants you that value. Not the fact that you currently have it, but the fact that you will.
Well,
the fact that you're a part of a species that does have capacity for such levels of of consciousness. Excuse me.
No, look, I just want to say that like I'm pretty lenient, like in terms of like I think abortion is just something that should happen when it's truly necessary. But I'm not the kind of person that's just like get an abortion because you got cream pot, you know? I just wanted to say that because I need to go to bed. So have a good night.
Okay. You too, man.
And,
I appreciate the conversation we
all right.
had.
Yeah.
You have a great
See you,
rest
man.
of your day. Peace.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, so I've been streaming for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I need to get some food. I also need to go to bed. I have work tomorrow. But you know, we have 48 people here. We gained 31 followers. We got some gifts, bunch of likes. I appreciate everyone coming out. I know there's still a lot of people who want to debate, so what I recommend is drop a follow so you guys will get a notification next time I'm hosting one of these. But yeah, man, all the followers are coming in now. Where were you guys earlier when I asked? But yeah, just follow so you get notified. I appreciate everyone for coming up. You know, we had a lot of good faith debates, even though sometimes like but all right, God bless everyone. Peace.